In this video, we are going to be looking at dictionaries in Python. Dictionaries are ordered, mutable collection of key value pairs that allows no duplicates. So they don't take duplicates. So to create a dictionary, you use curly braces like this. So I can give it a variable name like student. Let's say we are creating a student profile. So click enter. So then you wrap it around a double quote or single quote. So I prefer to use double quote. So name, and then that is the key, and then we give it a value like Smith. So that is the key, this is the key, and this is the value. So create other values. So we can have age. So I can give this 23. We can have course. So this course can be Python. So we can have department. So I can give this mathematics. Let's say mathematics department. So this is good. So we can print students. So let's print student. So we can see what we have created. So that is good. So, but what are the methods that we can use with this? So we have some methods, like we have the keys. We can get the keys. So we can get the keys of these. Look at the keys. So dictionary keys, we have name, age, course, department. So we can also look at the values. So right here, student dot values. So we can get the values. So I'm going to call this so student values. So you can see dictionary values, Smith 23, Python, mathematics. So these are the values, while on the left are the keys. So on the right is the value. That's why we call it key value pairs. So we can look at the whole item itself. So I can print student dot item. So student dot items. So I need to call this. So oh god. So student dot items. So we can see these dictionary items consist of the key value pairs. So what we've been looking at so far is how to read from a dictionary. So you can also read like this student.get. There's a method.get. So you can get like name, for example. So you can print this. So we can print this. So we can see the name here. So let me clear this out. So see it. So you can see the name. Or if you want to make this clearer, so we can use a formatted string and then do something like name, or we can call it name of student. It can be anything, okay? So I'll use this formatted string just to clarify this. Okay, so sorry, I need this here. Okay, so I need this here. So because I didn't have my quote at the end. So look at this name. Okay, so I use this formatted string so that it can be a more meaningful message, so that it can stand out, so you can see this clearly. So you can also go ahead and try this with the keys, values, and so on. So you can always apply this method throughout the course of this video. But because we don't want to access this item or these values anywhere in our code, so I will not necessarily use this method. For the most part of this video, I'll be using print like this. So let's continue. So we can update. So how do we update? So for example, I can update the age, for example. So I can say student. So I use square bracket and I put age. So let's say this person is now 24. So if you print student again, so see this. So age is now 24. We have updated this dictionary. So you update it with its key. You update it with its key. So we can also update. There is a method that update. So we can update this. Okay, so it takes key value pairs also. It takes key value pairs also. So we can have, let's say, faculty. So we can have faculty. So let's say this is sciences. Okay. So let's say this is sciences. So I need to close this. So what's going on? So I think there is an error somewhere. Okay. So where is the error? So it says this was not closed. So I'm trying to see. Okay, so I didn't close. So you should always read your errors. It said this was not closed. So I know that this is where the issue is. So you can see now it works. So I can print student now. So look at this. So we have this this faculty that we just created here. So faculty sciences. It can also be, you can also add any number of items you want. So I can add, for example, I can add height, the height of this student. So I can give it let me see, 172 cm, maybe 172 centimeter. So I'm going to, so we can add two values or two key value pairs. So we've added height. So this is how you can update. We also have a method which is called set default. So I'm going to show you how does set default work. For example, if we already have age, or let's say name, for example, we already have name. So if I come here and say name is John, so let's see what's going to happen. So name still remains Smith. So when that key value pair is here, okay, or more accurately, the key is already present, so it doesn't get created again. That's how set default work. But if I create something like country, like this, that we do not have in our dictionary, is going to get added. So you can see it now. So in short, if you use set default, if the key is here, it's not going to return what you just created. It's going to return the original key value pair. But if you don't have it in the dictionary, it's going to add the default to the list. Oh, I beg your pardon, it has the default to the dictionary. So that is it. So we can delete now. So we can delete. So I can delete. So what do we have here? So I can delete. So I can delete course, for example. So I can delete student. I need to put it around the student course. So I'll print this because I have to use the key. Okay. So if I print student now, let's see what we have. So we do no longer have the course. The course Python is no longer here. So what else can I do? So I can dot pop. There is a dot pop method. So if you pop, so you have to give it the key as usual. So I can use maybe name or department, whatever. So let me use name. So we have name Smith here. So now when we print, so let me clear this. We have name Smith here. So let me clear our terminal. So see this. So we do not have name again because we've used the dot pop method. Okay. So we also have the pop item. So this removes the last item in the dictionary. So it automatically removes the last item in the dictionary. What's the last item? Country, Nigeria. So let's see. So now we do no longer have country, Nigeria again because it has removed the last item on the list. So that is it. So you can also, there's also the copy. So you can create a copy of a dictionary also. So I can wrap it in a variable like, let's say, new student. So this can be a new variable. So if I print new student, so let me take this out. So okay, so if I print new student, so you can see this. So to make this clearer, I can use a formatted string and say new student. So I can do this. So I can use curly braces for the variable. So I can wrap this up at the end. So see this. So you can see new student. So new student has been printed. So this is a copy operation. So finally we can clear. But actually this copy operation is a create operation. So I'll take it here. So this is a create operation. So this is a create operation. So and then we have the clear. So we can clear this. So you call this. So if I print student down, we should get an empty dictionary. So look at this. Now we have an empty dictionary. It takes away. So you can read this. Look at this. So let me hover over it. So you should be able to see what this method does. But okay, so I should be able to see it. But it clears everything in the dictionary. So that is it. And there's one more thing I want to show you. So let me comment this out. So Control A and then, or on Mac is Command and A. So you all know that. So then I can comment out by using Command and / or Control and / on Windows. So let me show you this. For example, you have an iterable like this. Let's say you have A. Okay, let me use A. Let's say you have B, you have C, and so on. Okay, so you want to set this item to a default value, every item in this list. So when we say an iterable, it can be a tuple and it can be a list. So here I have used a list. So there is this from key method. So we have dictionary.from keys method. So I beg your pardon, from keys, not from key. So we have this from keys method. Look at what it does. So as its first argument, it takes the keys, okay, as its first argument, then it takes the default value. So we can give it 0 as the default value. So let's see what will happen. Because it's going to create a new dictionary of these items or this iterable with this default value. So let me give it a variable like default value. So let me print default value now. So by the way, I'm going to clear this. So see this. This is beautiful, right? So it maps them to 0 automatically. So if you have A to Z, for example, you want to map everything to the same value. So you can use this from keys method. So that is that on methods on dictionaries. So these are the methods that we have in dictionaries.